What happens when one of America's most beloved Hollywood couples hands their morning stage over to a comedian who can't stop talking about everything that's wrong with the world, and a British actress who just spent months dressed as a queen? You get what fans are already calling one of the most electric episodes in live with Kelly and Mark history. And the moment that stopped the internet? Nobody saw it coming. Welcome back, everyone. If you're a fan of morning television, you already know that Live with Kelly and Mark is more than just a talk show. It's a cultural institution. It's the place where Hollywood royalty sits down, lets its guard down, and gives viewers the kind of candid, spontaneous television that you simply cannot script. And this week, the show delivered something truly special. We're talking about a star-studded pre-recorded episode that brought together two of entertainment's most magnetic personalities, the unstoppable stand-up comedian Sebastian Maniscalco and the endlessly versatile British actress Minnie Driver. And hosting it all, the dynamic duo that America wakes up to every morning, the one, the only Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. Now, before we dive into all the action from that studio couch, let's take a moment to appreciate just how much star power walked through those live doors. First, let's talk about Kelly and Mark themselves. This Hollywood couple has been together for nearly 3 decades, and their chemistry on screen remains as electric as ever. Kelly Ripa first joined Live back in 2001, stepping in alongside the legendary Regis Philbin. In February of this year, she celebrated an extraordinary 25 years at the helm of morning television, a milestone that very few television personalities will ever come close to reaching. She shared that desk with Michael Strahan, with Ryan Seacrest, and now with the man she's been building a life with for almost 30 years, Mark Consuelos, who officially joined the show in 2023 after Ryan Seacrest stepped away to pursue other opportunities. When Mark took that seat, many wondered whether the dynamic would translate to audiences. The answer? An absolute and resounding yes. The couple's banter, their honesty, their genuine affection for each other. It all comes through every single morning. And this week's episode proved once again why this show continues to dominate America's mornings. Now, let's talk about the guests, because this particular episode was a 1-2 punch of pure entertainment gold. Enter Sebastian Maniscalco. If you don't know Sebastian Maniscalco by name, you absolutely know that feeling you get when a comedian walks on stage and within 10 seconds you're already doubled over laughing. That's Sebastian. The Chicago-born stand-up comic has spent the better part of 3 decades grinding his way to the absolute top of his craft. And right now, he's as hot as he's ever been. His latest Hulu special, It Ain't Right, dropped in November and was filmed live at the legendary United Center Arena in Chicago, his hometown. The special goes deep on family chaos, the frustrations of modern life, and the kind of everyday absurdities that make you feel like someone finally put your exact thoughts into words. The It Ain't Right tour behind it earned him the title of the #1 comedy tour of 2025, according to Billboard's mid-year box score report. He was also the only comedian to appear in Pollstar's top 20 global concert tours of 2025. Only comedian. Full stop. This is a man at the peak of his powers. And when he sat down across from Kelly and Mark, you could feel the energy in that studio shift immediately. But that wasn't the end of the story. Because waiting in the wings was a woman who has been having what she herself describes as her chaos era. And she means that in the best possible way. Minnie Driver, Academy Award-nominated actress, singer-songwriter, podcast host, and most recently, the fierce, formidable, and utterly unforgettable Queen, Elizabeth I on Starz' acclaimed historical drama, The Serpent Queen. If you haven't watched Minnie Driver and The Serpent Queen, here's everything you need to know. She spent 3.5 hours in hair, makeup, and costuming every single day to transform herself into one of history's most powerful women. The costumes were, by her own account, as heavy and uncomfortable as anything she'd ever worn on a set. And yet, somehow, she used every single layer of discomfort to fuel a performance that critics described as electric, flinty, and completely scene-stealing. She's also confirmed she's in early conversations to reprise that same role in a potential spinoff called The Virgin Queen, focused entirely on Elizabeth I. A project she says she wants to do more than anything else in her career right now. So when Minnie Driver walks into a talk show studio, she's not just carrying one hit project. She's carrying a career that is genuinely on fire. And then something surprising happened. When you put Sebastian Maniscalco's razor-sharp, high-energy comedic sensibility in the same room as Minnie Driver's effortless wit and decades of experience navigating Hollywood's most unexpected turns, magic doesn't just happen. It practically explodes. Sebastian, who is never short of opinions about modern life, brought his signature energy to the live couch with the kind of comfort that comes from being truly at home in front of an audience. His visit was centered around promoting It Ain't Right, and true to form, he didn't just talk about the special, he lived it. The kind of guy who turns every single anecdote into a bit, who finds the comedy in the mundane, who can make a story about his morning coffee feel like a full theatrical production. Kelly, who has interviewed practically every major star of the last quarter century, was visibly delighted. Mark, whose own dry comedic timing has become one of the show's secret weapons, matched Sebastian's energy beat for beat. The banter between the four of them, Kelly, Mark, Sebastian, and Minnie, was exactly the kind of unpredictable, unscripted chemistry that makes live appointment television morning after morning. Fans immediately started reacting. Social media lit up with clips, comments, and threads about just how refreshing and fun the combination of guests was. The word that kept coming up again and again: authentic. And that authenticity matters more than ever right now. In an era where audiences can feel the difference between a polished media appearance and a genuine human moment, episodes like this one remind people why morning talk shows still hold such a powerful place in American pop culture. Nobody was performing for the camera. Nobody was pitching with a script. It was four people, two beloved TV hosts, and two entertainers at the peak of their careers, just talking, just being real. Viewers took to social media to share their favorite moments from the episode, with many noting that Sebastian's energy was contagious from the very first second he sat down, and that Minnie Driver brought a warmth and depth to the live couch that felt different from a typical celebrity chat. She wasn't just promoting a project. She was connecting. One fan put it perfectly in a comment that started circulating online. This is what morning TV is supposed to feel like. This episode also carries a certain poignancy when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture of what Live with Kelly and Mark means right now. The show is currently airing a mix of pre-recorded content and new live episodes, with fresh live broadcasts returning on June 29th. It's a brief but well-earned break for the live team, something the show and its crew do every year. But what's remarkable is that even in pre-recorded form, this show continues to deliver moments that feel alive, spontaneous, and worth talking about. Kelly's 25-year milestone earlier this year wasn't just a number. It was a testament to something rare in television: genuine staying power. She's weathered every change the industry has thrown at her, evolved with every new era of morning TV, and still shows up every single day with the kind of energy and curiosity that made audiences fall in love with her in the first place. Mark's addition in 2023 didn't just fill a chair. It gave the show a new dimension, an intimacy, a realness, a family quality that resonates deeply with the audience. And when they invite guests like Sebastian Maniscalco and Minnie Driver into that space, the result is an episode that transcends the format. It becomes a piece of pop culture, a moment. There's something genuinely moving about watching people who are deeply good at what they do, doing it together in the same room. Sebastian Maniscalco has talked openly about how long the road was to get to where he is now. He spent years performing in small clubs, grinding, building his audience one laugh at a time. The fact that he's now selling out arenas and releasing Hulu specials filmed in his hometown, where his family, his roots, his entire origin story lives, is a deeply human triumph. And Minnie Driver, who has been in the industry for over 3 decades, is experiencing a genuine artistic renaissance. She described her current era as her chaos era, meaning she's saying yes to unexpected roles, challenging herself creatively, and clearly loving every single minute of it. She once opened for Coldplay and REM as a singer-songwriter. She hosts her own podcast. She plays queens. She shows up to morning talk shows and somehow manages to be both regal and completely down to earth at the same time. These are people who remind you why we love entertainment in the first place. Not just the glamour, the craft, the joy. In a week that also featured the pre-recorded return of names like Mariah Carey, Eugene Levy, Jessica Chastain, and Tim Allen, the live lineup was nothing short of spectacular. But this particular combination, Sebastian, Minnie, Kelly, and Mark, had a chemistry that stood out even in that star-studded company. There's a version of morning television that is simply about filling airtime. And then there's what Live with Kelly and Mark does at its best. It creates moments. It connects people. It gives viewers something to talk about at the breakfast table, something to share with a friend, something to smile about on the way to work. This episode was that, fully and completely. And if you're just discovering Live with Kelly and Mark for the first time, or if you're a longtime fan who sometimes takes for granted what an extraordinary show this is a great week to remember just how special it really is. So here's what I want to know from you. Who would you most want to see sit down on the live couch alongside Kelly and Mark? Drop your dream guest in the comments below. The more unexpected, the better. I want to see what you're thinking. If you enjoyed this celebrity update, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we cover the latest entertainment news, Hollywood couple moments, talk show highlights, and pop culture stories every single week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.